Here we go.
Yes, people, what's going on? Why is this in the way? Let me get it out of the way. What's going on, everybody? Zika Talks Football. We're back again with another video. Tomorrow, hopefully, or tonight, we should get a conclusion on the Kai Havertz situation, and hopefully we'll see him getting signed very, very soon. We're going to be talking about Declan Rice and if he'll be ending up at Man City or will he be at Arsenal? We got to find out. Plus, there's a lot more to get into today with Arsenal transfer news. We're going to be getting into it with my guy, Arsenal informer, Ali in the building. How are you doing, my friend?
Not bad, mate. Yeah, all good. How are you?
Doing good. Just to say the least, there is a bidding war, ladies and gentlemen. There is a bidding war, and it's starting to get interesting. Mikel Arteta and his good old friend, Pep Guardiola, are getting into it for Declan Rice. And it's truly becoming one that is going to be taking over for the next coming weeks at Arsenal. We're going to hear about this every single day. Transfer news, nonstop. And what did we hear just 18 hours ago? I think yesterday, that Man City made a bid for Declan Rice. I have not yet made a video on my YouTube channel since then. So we're going to start from Declan Rice's official bid from Manchester City to what has happened today. And the only place to start, I guess, is probably David Ornstein, because he's the one that's keeping the people most informed, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Dropping the bombs.
There's three people who are keeping people very informed. Samuel McBell is dropping a lot of news. Steinberg is dropping a lot of news. And David Ornstein is dropping a lot of exclusive news. They're the ones that are dropping the most exclusives, in my opinion, at this moment in time. And the best place to start is 19 hours ago, David Ornstein dropped the bomb. And immediately when that happened, what was going through your heads, guys? Everyone in the comment section, let me know. Because for me, I seen this and I actually read it, unlike a lot of people. Immediately when they first see it, they don't read it fully. They just read the first couple sentences and start getting scared. But what it said was West Ham last night, made an official bid for Declan Rice. And of course, the proposal was 80 million plus 10 million in add-ons. Arsenal's second bid, which was rejected, was around 75 million plus 50 million in add-ons. The pursuit is ongoing. But another key thing that was spoken about the next moment was obviously the bid. He spoke about it this morning, that the bid was rejected and they were unimpressed with the bid from West Ham, from Manchester City, as the bid was only £5 million more up front and still is short of the £100 million valuation that Manchester City are looking for. Now, did he report on anything else since then?
Nothing Arsenal related, no.
Nothing else related. So now let's go to Jacob Steinberg, as he was the next person to report on some of these things. And Jacob Steinberg had a lot to say on the transfers of Arsenal and the Declan Rice transfer, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously, as you guys can see, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Harry Kane have been taking up a lot of the headlines today. But there's also some major headlines with this. Declan Rice is waiting for a bigger offer from Arsenal, as Manchester City's bid was rejected. This was 6 hours ago. Working our way backwards, they spoke about the bid being rejected, and Arsenal are preparing a third bid. Okay? And then we now go to Fabrizio. Fabrizio recently just spoke, if I'm not mistaken, about the transfer, and he said something across the lines that Arsenal are going to bid, and the bid is imminent, and we're just waiting to get the bid submitted. I'm hearing reports that the bid has already been submitted. We're going to talk about some of these things in a second, but let me just show the final section before we go into it. Yeah, here's the final little piece. So this was the final little piece to the puzzle. Fabrizio Romano putting it all together and telling us what everything in a small short sentence. So West Ham have rejected Man City's proposal. Arsenal know and also are going to bid more than the £90 million package. Plan is clear from days. More to follow. Arsenal's third bid is expected soon. Man City remain in the race. So at this moment in time, bro, this is what's going on. Talk to me. Everyone in the comment section, let me know what you guys think, how you guys are feeling. All I have to say is a level of calmness, people. I'm still not worried. Even though they've made an official bid, I've always said until they make an official bid, I won't be concerned. Yes, them making a bid is concerning, but the level of the bid not being serious makes me less worried. I thought if they were going to bid, they would at least meet the valuation of the 100 million. They didn't do that. Talk to me, bro. What are you saying?
Yeah, so I think you're right in saying that we need to sort of reassure the fans that this is just part of the process. Man City were always going to be on the sidelines. They're always there. They're a top club. And obviously, we know the financial backing that they have. There was always a threat that they were going to bid. And with a player of Declan Rice's sort of stature and his abilities, you wouldn't be surprised if a club like Manchester City or another big club like Manchester United were knocking on the door and asking questions. So, yeah, I think we was expecting this to happen. It was just sort of a matter of time to see. Obviously, Ornstein reported it on, I think it was Friday, that there was a bid. There was meant to be a bid that day, but nothing came through. So this was just sort of inevitable, and it's come at this sort of stage today. I think a lot of Arsenal fans also need to understand that it's the exact same package. I think you also mentioned in terms of the total value, they're both Arsenal and Man City's package are both in total 90 million. So we need to bear that in mind. They haven't blown us out of the water. They haven't sort of gone in with a crazy package. I think what's interesting to note is that a lot of people were saying that Man City, I know people like West Ham Central and other sort of West Ham fans were saying that Man City were ready to blow Arsenal out of the water. Well, we've seen today that it wasn't sort of blown out of the water. It was 5 million extra guaranteed plus 10 million in add-ons. Of course, we don't know the structure of this. There hasn't been much information. I've tried to dig on this. I haven't been able to find anything further.
No one cares about the structure. They didn't meet the 100 million.
Exactly that. Yeah, I think that's the main thing that West Ham have wanted. They want that 100 million. But yeah, I don't think we should be panicking yet. And also, it hasn't been blown away with a sort of crazy 100 mil offer where we have to really sort of think what we're doing and sort of reassess. So I'm still pretty confident. Obviously, Man City is still a threat, but I think we should get our man.
Let me just go through some of these comments. Pick up everyone. Someone here saying Kai Havertz will become an Arsenal player tonight or tomorrow morning. That has been reported. So you're right, Danny Sharp right there. And I think, you know what? You deserve to get your comment pinned because that is accurate. I'm going to just pin that comment for a little bit so we can see so everyone knows that that's accurate. And I don't really think we need to get too much into Kai Havertz. But we're going to talk about something in related to Kai Havertz if there's anything that breaks throughout the stream, because you never know, it could actually be official throughout this stream as we're speaking to you right now. But do me a favor, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as you guys are going. And of course, if you want to become a channel member, you can become a channel member for as low as £1. Fabrizio Romano, we just mentioned Fabrizio Romano. Big up my guy Skills. What are you cooking today? Look at Egal, twist the narrative. City bid was rejected, but Arsenal's bid not rejected. Both got. Did I not say both were rejected? Since what are we talking about?
Yeah,
they both were rejected. No one's twisting the narrative. I'm literally reading the news as it's happening, and people are making it seem like Arsenal's bid wasn't rejected. What are you talking about, my friend? I think Rice is already done. I think West Ham and Arsenal are playing games. There are a lot of games happening this transfer window. Have you not noticed with Bayern offering 70 million for thing today? We have all these different games happening. The Lavia games, we're going to talk about that in a second. Mason Mount with Chelsea. This is just how the transfer window works. Did people forget how the transfer window works?
I think you're right, mate. Yeah, it's not going to be easy.
And you know what? Put the money on the table. People need to just be quiet, because if you put 100 million on the table today for Declan Rice, it still doesn't get the deal done. They still hold on to that 100 million pound bid, and they want to see if there's more coming.
100%. There's a risk that Man City go 105, and then we have to go 110 to try and get it done, or even match that, and then we're screwed. So yeah. I completely agree.
When we get Castagna, he should. No one's talking about Castagna anymore. I don't think that's happening anymore.
No, there was some links there, but as far as I can see, there's nothing more further than the preliminary discussions.
Big up, Staberto Steve. Are you now a Chelsea fan? Because Staberto's got bought by Chelsea. Let me know. Let me know if you're a Chelsea fan now. When is Havertz announcement? Is there any news on Havertz announcement? I don't think there is.
Yeah, it should be either late today. I doubt it'll be today. Otherwise, if not tomorrow, it's imminent. It's very soon. It's all done. So yeah,
Havertz announcement is going to happen when you start seeing people making fun of him being a donkey and stuff. That's when you know. The moment you start seeing people making fun of it, that's when you know it's happened. Because the BBC did that disgusting article the other day. Did you see it?
No, was it
The
quite
BBC
bad?
did an article about Kai Havertz already being an Arsenal player. They said new Arsenal signing is in love with donkeys. It's
That's weird.
actually a joke. Like sometimes, how do journalists? I think journalists are just looking at football Twitter and they're copying what they say nowadays.
Yeah, honestly, some of the ones are absolutely atrocious. I mean, remember the Sun one with Saliba with PSG? Like that was an absolute
Bro, do you
what a joke.
remember somebody made a joke about Odegaard and Lacazette, and an actual publication released it.
Yeah, it's got to be really careful. Things can get really twisted.
It's messed up. But yeah, the Kai Havertz news. This is the Kai Havertz news. Just touch on it quickly. Kai Havertz move to Arsenal is close completion form announcement this week. You guys know Arsenal could have had all the pictures and everything sorted, but they will still somehow find a way to drag it on for another week. That's just how it is. I think it will happen in the next 24 hours as being reported by Sky Sports right here. But I also expected it to be done on Monday. So,
yeah. There was a consensus that it would be Monday, but you never know. These things can take time, so we'll have to see. All I know is that he's an Arsenal player.
Noah, do me a favor, Noah. Please stop spamming in the chat. People saying Sheikh Igal, big up to you, everyone. But yeah, so let's just get straight into some of this news. So I don't know if you guys know, but Arsenal Buzz has lately been doing breakdowns of the whole day. So we're just gonna look at everything that happened yesterday, and go through some of the things that happened. So if I'm not mistaken, we know about what's going on with thing, but there's also some news about Rob Holding. There's some news about some other players, and I feel like that is just as important as the Declan Rice stuff. But first, let's get all the Declan Rice news out of the way. Is there anything else? Arsenal are going to launch a new bid that is official. We've understood that Man City did launch a bid, so I'm just going to give you guys a quick little breakdown of everything. So if you guys don't know and you've just joined the stream, Man City bid £80 million plus £10 million add-ons. Okay, their bid was an official bid. It was rejected, and of course, Arsenal are expected to make another bid for Declan Rice, as reported. Now, the Hammers have rejected the bid and they want around 100 million. That's what everyone's briefing everybody. And Arsenal's third bid is expected to be imminent. No news yet of what the third bid is and if it's happened, but senses are saying that Declan Rice still prefers to join Arsenal. And of course, West Ham still want that 100 million. Nothing has changed there. Nothing will change with their valuation. They're still going to want the 100 million. That 100 million could be with add-ons, but it's expected Arsenal will make a formal bid. This was 18 hours ago. They said 48 hours ago. So that means 30 hours remaining. Obviously, the time will never be 100% accurate. But yeah, here's another thing. So for Fabrizio Romano, just breaking down some of the stuff. The Timber deal is getting close, as we already know. No real update there yet. But yeah, a quick little breakdown of what happened yesterday. We've already spoke about Declan Rice. Quickly go down. Kai Havertz, we already spoke about. Timber. Nothing crazy yesterday about Timber. Timber, we already know second bid has gone in.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's been accepted or anything yet with the Timber stuff. Romeo Lavia, some basically, as long as we don't sell Thomas Partey, Romeo Lavia will not be coming in. We sell Thomas Partey, Romeo Lavia will be number one priority. We were linked to Youssouf Fofana last night. From Samuel McBell's report, Youssouf Fofana could potentially be the alternative if we don't get Declan Rice. That kind of scares me, seeing reports like that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think a lot of fans will be a little bit concerned, saying that why are we looking for alternatives if we're not sort of confident that we're going to get our main target. But I think it's important to understand that it's just the way that Arteta and Eddie work. We saw it with our second replacements with Trossard and Jorginho and other ones that came out in sort of the winter window. It's just the way we work. We always explore alternatives. So I don't think there should be any concern there. It's just the way we are. We like to be very thorough with how we work in the window. So yeah, I can understand where people come from with their concern. But, yeah.
And people talking about Balogun here. There's some talks about Balogun's price tag going up to 50 million, people putting a 50 million valuation on the man since he does have 2 years remaining. And this was the most weirdest part of the whole transfer window for me. Moises Caicedo could yet become an Arsenal player if Partey leaves. Surely he would still cost too much money even if we sold Thomas Partey, don't you think?
Well, it all sort of depends how much we can get for Partey. There's loads of different figures sort of flying around, and there's nothing concrete. I think some people were saying 25 to 30. Some saying we could even push to 50 if it was any Saudi club came in. But yeah, the Moises Caicedo situation is very complicated.
Yeah,
So,
Arsenal, Manchester United have now entered the race, and Chelsea have not yet got him over the line. And then finally, we have Eddie Nketiah could potentially leave, and Xavi Simon. Now, with that being said, let me just take you guys back for a second. Declan Rice, we've broken everything down with the Declan Rice deal. No need to go any further on that. I don't know. Did you see Jakub Kiwior had an interview where he spoke about Arsenal buying more players, bringing in more quality players, just benefits the team and wins us more trophies. I like the fact that he's up for the challenge and he's not worried about having more and more competition for
definitely.
places.
I really rate Kiwior. Yeah, I think when he played against Chelsea, I thought he was unbelievable. I think that was his first sort of full debut where he could show his talent, and he was really solid. I know it was against sort of a weaker Chelsea side, one that hadn't been on great form, but I was really impressed with him. So I'm hopeful that he's pushed more next season, and I think he'll be a really good one to watch.
Yeah, and this was when he was asked about Timber. So why would somebody ask him about Timber if it's not happening? West Ham's formal bid was rejected. We already know about that, but we got to talk about Rob Holding.
Yes, loan move.
Rob Holding could be leaving.
Yeah.
Apparently, a Turkish club want Rob Holding. What's going on? Since when do Turkish clubs are interested in Rob Holding? I'm confused. What happened here?
What's also really interesting is that it's a possible loan deal as well. This is obviously the player isn't a young player. You sort of normally associate loan sort of deals with young players, but maybe if Arsenal are looking to loan him out, it'll be a loan with an option to buy. So yeah, this is sort of breaking news in a weird way because we haven't heard much on Rob Holding's future, but I think Rob Holding will probably leave this summer unless he is adamant on staying, and Arteta still wants him.
He's going to Turkish since he has Turkish hair.
Is that big up, Dobbo? Big up, mate. Yeah.
That was funny, man. That was funny. He's going to Turkey because he has Turkish
mate, he's going to get discounts. He's going to get the whole mob back, isn't he?
Yeah. You know what, Tom? Well, hopefully Havertz can prove us wrong. Yeah, 100%. People, you guys need to stop arguing with Tom in the chat. Big up Double here saying Lavia is still happening regardless what happens to Partey. Of course, the fee is part of that. Oh, really? Interesting. We're going to have to get back to that. I'm going to tag that for later. But talk to me, people. Everyone, let me know what you guys think about the potential. How do I become a member? The way you become a member is you click on the subscribe button. Next to the subscribe button, there's a little join button. And then from there, you can become a member. Or you can go into the description, and there's also a section there where it says you can become a member. Or you could click on that little membership thing that I'm just going to put in the comment section right now. But I'm not going to lie to you. Arsenal getting rid of thing doesn't really change our squad. It doesn't affect us anymore. Getting rid of a defender last year would have hurt us, and it kind of did in the business end of the season. But Rob Holding leaving, with the options we're going to have going into next season, Rob Holding has surplus his requirements. And with Declan Rice coming in, another English player, we don't really need Rob Holding as much anymore.
Yeah. I think with Rob Holding as well, he's, despite the fact that he's really good for team morale, he's sort of like a really good sort of team player, really good squad player, sort of really good for the boys. I do think that he'll probably be leaving, bearing in mind that he'll probably get a lot of less game time next season, bearing in mind that the Timber move is sort of imminent. That's probably going to get done soon. I think probably if he was assessing his options and his game time, I think he will probably decide to leave.
Yeah. So just to give everyone the report and what's actually happening, report came from the Express Sport. I'm not sure where they're located in, but then Arsenal defender Rob Holding is in talks with Besiktas over a possible loan to join them. And we've done a lot of loan deals with them. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Nwaneri went there, right? And then Arsenal have received an offer on Holding, now discussing move away from the Emirates. Let's see if anyone in England come in for him, because maybe he might want to stay in England. But of course, that is great news. Now, just quickly shifting up, of course, we heard more about the West Ham bid. We've already gone in on the West Ham bid. Majority of the news is around the West Ham stuff. but there is some other stuff to also talk about. We're not going to get into Harry Kane. No one really wants to talk about Harry Kane. Although, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't think Levy will sell Harry Kane. He's very stubborn, and I think that's a lot. I think as well what the media do is that when Arsenal throw in a lowball offer, even though it's pretty acceptable, bearing in mind with sort of Declan Rice, West Ham were sort of valuing the player at 80 million before they sort of done really well in the Conference League. Clubs like Bayern Munich come in with a lowball offer for a player, and there's sort of less stick. So I do think there's something to note with Arsenal that sometimes you do get a lot of stick by the media for us, which I think is a bit unnecessary. So, yeah.
I fully agree. I think Arsenal, we definitely do get a lot more heat than other clubs. Where this bid from Bayern Munich is a little bit, to me, on the low side. He's at least garners 100 million, and I don't think Daniel Levy sells a lot of stuff on thing. But I wanted to get into Balogun's conversations because I've seen some stuff on Balogun. So Crystal Palace is one to watch, apparently, from Ben Jacobs on the Football Terrace, as reported yesterday. He's saying Crystal Palace is one to watch and 30 to 35 million, but even reports of upwards of 50 million for Balogun. First of all, would you sell Balogun, and how much would you sell Balogun for? Everyone in the comment section, let me know what you guys think.
I think personally it's got to be quite a big fee. I don't think for 30 to 35, I don't think that's enough for Balogun. And for his potential as a player, I think definitely it's got to be north of 50 million in my opinion. I think he's a top talent, and if we were to let him go, it'd have to be for a fee that was sort of something that we can really sort of invest into this season and sort of use it in our sort of strategy for the window. I do think, however, he will feature in the pre-season. I've been told that he is set to be part of them plans, and there's sort of more serious discussions that will take place after that. Of course, there's been preliminary sort of discussions on what his fee may be if he leaves. Yeah, that's true, Dora. Yeah, a buyback clause would be sort of Arsenal are keen on that, especially with sort of their top talents. I know if they were to sell Charlie Patino as well, there's a buyback clause that they're looking to sort of keep tabs on him in the future. So yeah, it's a really interesting one to watch. Personally, I don't want him to go. I really want to see him develop at Arsenal because he's sort of hailing prospect and come through the academy. But we'll have to see. It'd be a really interesting one to watch.
There you go. I'm just going to say this. I would sell Balogun, and I would definitely put a sell-on clause or a buyback clause. But the main reason why I think he might get an opportunity in preseason, but based on the fact that Eddie Nketiah and him have the same agent, Bukayo Saka, Reece Nelson, they all have the same agent. Bro, eventually he needs to move some of these guys on from Arsenal so he can actually get his guys game time. Because there's no way he's gonna have 3 attackers at Arsenal on the bench and he's the agent. He's not doing a good job as an agent if he keeps all these attackers at Arsenal.
Yeah, it's a very valid point. With Eddie Nketiah, as I previously mentioned before when I was speaking on him maybe last week, I think I said that he is still part of Arteta's plan, but there are, as far as I know, there's about 3 clubs, Premier League clubs that are interested, and at the moment they are sort of Crystal Palace, West Ham, and I think it was Brentford was the other one. Yeah.
Let me say this: 50 million, no buyback, no sell-on clause. You down for that? I think Arsenal takes that. 50 million is the kind of money they can go and reinvest that right away. Yeah,
definitely. I think that is one to consider. I think bearing in mind that 50 million can buy you some good players. Well, it could fund the pretty much the Timber deal, which is a very strong one, and also could even be folded into maybe Caicedo or someone else that we maybe would not have been able to pursue if we didn't sort of recoup our funds from selling a player. So to be fair, I think I'm a really big fan of Caicedo. I really do want him to come, although they sort of our interest has sort of cooled recently. I know there is still obviously a sort of admiration from Arteta from the quality of the player that he is. I think if we folded that transfer fee from Balogun into Caicedo, I'd take that all day long. I think that'd be a smart move.
Fair enough. You said something about Charlie Patino. Do you think Arsenal could garner much money for Charlie Patino? Because I don't think we can. I think 20 is ridiculous money for Charlie Patino.
It's a really difficult one, obviously, because he hasn't had, well, really any game time in the Premier League. Obviously, he played really well at Blackpool. But as you're right, I think it's really difficult when someone is like Premier League unproven, hasn't done it at the top level. It can be hard to sort of demand that high fee. And that's probably why Arsenal would like to keep him for another season. So maybe integrate him more into the squad. That would definitely increase his fee to see how he plays in the Premier League. It's a really interesting one to watch. I know Sheffield United, contact there, mentioned to me that he was top of the list. And I had that confirmed through multiple people as well. Barcelona, well, I think I've been keeping tabs on him for around 2 years now. And they were particularly impressed with his spell at Black.
Do you think he gets any game time in preseason?
Charlie, that's a tough one. As far as I can't comment on that because I'm not too sure.
I don't think he does, yeah. I think Balogun gets debut in preseason at least, but Charlie Patino, I think they're going to try to move him on, but it's going to be a situation at the end of the transfer window. We try to get rid of him on any type of situation. But Nuremberg prediction, early for preseason predictions, but I think that how many goals did we get last year? 4?
We absolutely smashed our preseason.
No, against Nuremberg last year, how many goals did we get? Anyone in the comment section remember the score last year versus Nuremberg?
See what everyone's
I
saying.
remember, if I'm not mistaken, Matt Turner played against Nuremberg last year. And I think we conceded.
See what everyone's saying. 5-3?
What? Was it? No way. It wasn't
5-2.
It wasn't that high of a goal scoring. It wasn't that high of a scoring game.
5-3. That's what some people are saying.
5-3.
I can't remember. I'll be honest with you, I can't even remember that preseason game.
It was the one that Jesus scored that goal so quickly. Do you forget? Oh yeah, it was 5-3. It was 5-3.
5-3.
Jesus bagged the brace. Eddie and Ketia looked great. Remember, Jesus scored in like 15 seconds?
Yeah. I'm just seeing the comments
5-3.
now, yeah.
You guys are right. 5-3. Jesus, was it a hat trick? No, he scored a brace. Jesus scored a brace. He didn't score a hat trick. It was basically a hat trick, but it didn't count because it was an own goal, I think. But yeah. Anyways, let's just go quickly to the next topic. We need to keep our young players. Did you hear about Ethan Ampadu or what? Not Ethan Ampadu.
Ethan Nwaneri, yeah.
Ethan Nwaneri, yeah, that's the guy. What happened is Chelsea are after him. Break down what's going on, bro, because there's a lot to mention here.
Yeah, so of course, the player is eligible to sign his first professional contract when he turns 17. And I think what Simon was saying is that the deadline is actually this Friday for us to sign the player, which is really interesting. Of course, there will be top clubs interested in him. He mentioned Chelsea and Man City. I'm really hopeful that this player will sign because I think he's got really great potential. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see that one. Personally, I don't have much information on this one. As I said, it's hard to sort of reach out to sort of people close to his camp because he's such a young player, and it's hard to find the sort of the agency that manage him. But I really do hope that we are able to keep him, despite sort of the short deadline that is coming up to sort of keep the player and sign him on a professional contract.
I think this is a situation where he's just trying to go wherever the money is. I don't think he really cares about his development, and that's a shame for such a young, promising player to not really care too much about his development. Is a shame. If he did care about his development, he'd probably stay at Arsenal. The fact that he's thinking about going to Chelsea, Man City, just makes me think he wants to be at an academy where they're winning, and they could potentially just sell him on for some money in the future. But right now, he's not really caring about his long term. He's just thinking about his short term, because Arsenal might not be offering the same money Man City and Chelsea are for academy players. That's just the reality. Look at what Omari Hutchinson did.
Yeah, I was literally about to say.
It was a terrible move for him, in my opinion.
100%. He's only really been featured in the under 21 squad. To be honest with you, he's really struggled to break through into the first team. So yeah, personally, I think that was a big mistake for the player.
Does anybody in the comment section think this is a good move for a player to make a move from Arsenal's academy to any other academy? Because let's be honest, Manchester United's academy, they don't really have too many graduates. Arsenal's academy is doing really well. Chelsea's academy lately have been doing well, but how many of those players are actually in their team now? With Mason Mount, Christensen leaving, Ruben Loftus-Cheek leaving, all these guys leaving Chelsea, who's really left in their squad? Man City are starting to do better. with Cole Palmer and Phil Foden,
Yeah.
and Lavia and stuff. But like, still, not a lot of these guys make it in their first team. So I think Ethan should stay at Arsenal. I
I
think
think you got to bear in mind the coach as well. Arteta is well known for his ability to sort of transform a player, especially youth players. You've seen it with Emil Smith-Rowe, Saka, obviously Eddie Nketiah. But there's literally loads. I could name them like bang on my hand like that. I think loads of young players really idolise Arteta and his ability to sort of transform a player and sort of mature them from that sort of boyhood to sort of a man in a sort of a weird way. So I think that hopefully that comes into the player's mind. I hope he thinks that, yeah, Arteta has a plan for me. I'm sure they've sat down with Ethan and said, this is the project that we sort of see for you. Hopefully we'll have you in the first team by X date. We're going to push you here, maybe put you on our few sort of trips at the FA Cup and sort of the UCL, maybe some of the earlier games. We'll have you on the bench. So we'll have to wait and see. It's a really interesting one. I can't comment personally because I don't have much information on the deal, but hopefully he stays.
Okay, fair enough. So we've touched on a couple of the topics. I feel like one major thing that we haven't spoken about is what's going on with Saliba. We haven't like this whole time. Where is Saliba? What's going on with him? Because I thought he would be back. We'd be seeing more about Saliba. Yeah. What's going on with Saliba, bro?
So that contract announcement is going to be 2 weeks away. I've been told that there's two other signings. There's two other signings that they need there that is on the schedule for them to announce. Speaking to someone within Arsenal, they said that despite Saliba putting pen to paper, that announcement won't be for another 2 weeks at least, because they've got other media days and players that are set to be announced before him. So I found that very interesting because obviously they're confident that there's going to be a few more people that are walking through the door at that time. Yeah. So it's definitely it won't be soon. It'll be 2 weeks away, I'm told. And in between that, I think it's Kai Havertz, and I think they're lining up a space for another player. It's probably going to be Timber because that's very close to being done. So yeah, it's 2 weeks away. As far as I'm concerned, he flew back on Friday. I should be able to get confirmation when he signed. I don't think he has signed yet, put pen to paper, but I'll hopefully be able to let people know when that happens. So I've got a really good contact close to that camp.
All I got to say is anyone who bought the number 12 Saliba kit, you should wait until the number 2 Saliba kit is announced. You shouldn't be buying that kit yet. But hey, if you already bought it and it's a collector's item, hold on to it. Hold on to it. For now, let's go to that Timber conversation because big up to everyone in the comments asking me about Ashburton Army. I love Ashburton Army. I think they've done great things with the atmosphere. I don't know if they got banned for saying some slurs or something, but I hope they're back next season. And I love the atmosphere that they created. I don't really know if they've done anything wrong or anything. If they've done something wrong, please do tell me. Because of course that would be a different situation, but from just the atmosphere point of view, they've done well. I like it.
Yeah, I agree. It's really important to have a good atmosphere at the Emirates, and they've been strong behind that. So definitely.
There you go. Not only from Give Me Sport, but there's been numerous reports from many different reporters. So Fabrizio Romano confirming that a second bid has gone in. Give Me Sport, Darbysham has said that talks are ongoing, and it's edging closer to a £50 million rated Timber. Talk to me about Timber, man. I haven't spoken to you about Timber yet.
Yeah, sure. So obviously we knew the proposal that went in a few days ago. From what I know regarding the deal and the sort of the fee that Ajax are demanding, this second proposal is very, very close to what they want. So I wouldn't be surprised if this proposal gets accepted, or despite the potential of a sort of rejected bid, it would be sort of pretty much done. Sort of, they'd go back with sort of an improved structure. I think it's important to note as well that there's been no news on that bid being rejected. So perhaps it was sort of, they put that bid forth and Ajax came back to them and said, we need a few more add-ons and we need a little bit more guaranteed up front, and that deal will be done. A bit like sort of the Kai Havertz deal. We heard that there was sort of meetings scheduled before that when the second bid went in and there was no news on the rejection. It was more sort of the deal has been agreed for X value. Yeah. That's I think I heard about that. Yeah. So I think with Timber, I'm very confident that he'll be an Arsenal player. We also know that he is a massive fan of Arteta and his project, which I think is so important. And he sort of refused other really top clubs that went in for him, most notably other clubs in the Premier League, such as Manchester United. I know were in for him and had sort of preliminary discussions with the player, but he was adamant on joining Arsenal. And I think that's so important and extremely important for us.
Has the bid been confirmed how much it is? Is it 45 million, 50 million?
It says 45/48 million euros, I think is what Fab posted.
So 48 million euros, 45 million pounds.
I double.
I don't think I've seen anywhere where they actually said the dollar amount in how much Arsenal bid for him.
Yeah. To my understanding, it's close to the 50 million euros that Ajax want. It's definitely below that value. It's not bang on the money. As I said, Fab I think he put 45 euro/48. I don't know what he meant by that. I was slightly confused as well because the wording of the tweet was slightly weird. I'm not sure if you can get it up now, but I was a bit confused as well. But bearing in mind the sort of the value that Ajax want. It's a very close one.
It's just we're growing in confidence that they're actually going to get it done, hopefully, and it's getting closer and closer. Now, I just wanted to speak about the Romeo Lavia thing quickly, if we have a second. Now, did you see the stuff about Romeo Lavia yesterday? Basically, it's a three-way tie. Apparently,
yeah, Liverpool, yeah.
It's a three-way tie or a three-way debate between who's going to get Romeo Lavia and everything else with him. It's an interesting conversation. As we're doing that, I'm going to get up some of the comments. But people in the comment section, let me know what you guys think about Romeo Lavia, where he will end up. So reports Liverpool are have a working relationship with Southampton and they're trying to get a deal sorted. Chelsea have been a long-time interest. And obviously Arsenal have personal terms agreed and have the best relationship with the agent. Everyone in the comment section, if you were to put your money on where Romeo Lavia will end up, would you say Arsenal, Chelsea, or Liverpool? Because first, for me, maybe it's just because I'm an Arsenal fan. I still believe we have the inside track. We're the only ones that agreed personal terms, and I think it's going to happen. Somebody here said it might be 45 million fixed. Someone here saying 48 plus add-ons. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think we're definitely in the driver's seat for this deal. As I've said, Romeo Lavia's agent is the same one that is for Bukayo Saka, and obviously personal terms have pretty much been agreed there. And I think that's really important because of the tie with Arsenal through Bukayo Saka and how close they must have been to the agent when they were sort of renegotiating Bukayo Saka's deal. Also, I think it's important to add that we are sort of the only London club that have Champions League football next season. Chelsea don't, and obviously Liverpool, although they have European football, it's not the Champions League. And any sort of ambitious football player really wants to play in the Champions League, of course. So I think that is a massive plus for us.
I don't know if you check out football transfers, but my boy Steve said Chelsea and Liverpool.
Dropped a bomb.
Chelsea and Liverpool are leading the race, and I just said stop the cap.
Yeah, dropped a bomb. Steve
there
bombs.
You go. Drop another exclusive from the boy Steve. You know what? I don't think we have much to worry about at this moment in time. If Liverpool are progressing, Liverpool don't progress. Liverpool just get stuff done. Chelsea, they're going to have to wait because they have other things to worry about before they go and get Lavia, like Caicedo and other stuff. But while we're talking about Caicedo, do you think there's any chance we could jump in back for Caicedo? Because reports are saying we could jump in for Caicedo. And I don't know about you, but if we get Declan Rice and somehow, some way, we sell Xhaka and Partey and garner another 50 million potentially, just to add on top of what we have and get Caicedo, imagine. We're already talking about a dream window. Personally, for me, we signed Declan Rice and we signed those other three players. Those 4 signings, amazing window, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I would say 8, 7 out of 10. But if we get Caicedo, this will be Arsenal's greatest ever transfer window in history.
Oh, mate, 100%. I'd be 11 out of 10. I think they're two of the most wanted midfield talents in the Premier League as well as the world.
I believe he's already signed a contract with Chelsea, but you never know in football. You see the Willian situation.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really interesting one to watch. It's all sort of all over the place. There's lots of clubs interested and nothing concrete. I know Chelsea, of course, are meant to be leading the race, but you never know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, let me just put it on the screen. So this is the actual report for anyone who doesn't know what's going on and what we're talking about. It's actually insane that this could actually happen. Rice news. If I'm not mistaken, we covered a lot of the Rice news, but let me just ask you guys, did you see the Talk Sport thing? Did you see the thing?
Oh,
You
I
see
think
the thing from Talk Sport? Oh wow, news. What's this? Expectations course. Two clubs question Arsenal, Man City, possible third bidder coming in. West Ham have a benchmark and they want to reach. And that's what
100.
Madrid paid for
Wow.
Jude Bellingham. 150. So they're raising the price all of a sudden.
I think that's just probably being fed to the media. Of course, they're going to demand. Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, West Ham have a vested interest to continuously push news to the media to try to drive the price up as much as possible. They're trying to sell a player for more money.
100%.
Everyone needs to understand. Everything you read is most of the time it's coming from the team that's trying to sell the player. Arsenal,
Definitely.
the only time I seen them push that we're trying to get Declan Rice was in January last year. I haven't really seen them say too many things that I would feel like are Arsenal links.
No, you're right. I think.
Why would Arsenal report the bids? Why would Arsenal report our bids? Why would Arsenal report that we're about to make a third bid?
Yeah, no, you're right. I think that's why you got to be very careful with the media. I don't think any club will pay that sort of money for Declan. Well, I'll be very surprised if they do.
And here's another report. West Ham have a verbal offer from two clubs more than 90 million turned down from Man City.
It's hoping that the bids will be formally made in writing in the next one. Right? Wow. Okay.
So one of those has to be Arsenal.
Yeah, definitely.
Manchester United would bid that much money? I don't think so.
I don't think they will. I think there's a lot of uncertainty with the owners and what's going on there. It's got.
Do you think Bayern would have be that other club?
No, I doubt it. I know that there was interest early on in the window, but I think there was reassurances from the player side that, despite him saying he wants to only be in London, he also says he only wants to really be in England. So I think it'd be a really, really interesting one to watch. I'm still very confident that we land Declan, but Manchester City is a dangerous opponent to come up against in a bidding war. So
yeah, and you know something, Manchester City just announced a player, Kovačić. Kovačić just really announced right now a minute ago. Welcome to Manchester City. You see Kovačić holding the Man City shirt, wearing the number 8 Gundogan's kit. Right
to be
there.
Fair,
25.5 million. Good deal for them.
Yeah, definitely. Really solid player. Lots of
Chelsea are getting rid of all their best players. Like, I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to look like a completely different side next season.
Yeah, and just quickly, where was that? I wanted to go to that video. Did you see that Talk Sport video?
Yeah, that's it there.
See this?
Going on here.
I needed to talk about this because I feel like this is something we need to talk about. It's
go on, play the full video and then we'll have a little discussion.
As a sporting director, I used to do this a lot. So I used to call up a club, big club, and say, right, can you put in a bid in? And that would get my owner to basically put a higher bid in. It's a bit like an auction, isn't it? I don't think Manchester City actually want to sign Declan Rice. I think what's going on here is Arteta's picked up the phone to Pep, said, listen, Arsenal are going to do the sort of incremental bid approach. If you put a higher bid in, that will push my owner to I think there's a bit of that going on here.
What, for speed then? They just want it to happen quicker?
Well, for speed, but to get the deal done. Because, West Ham obviously want a certain valuation. I think I read 120 million.
Arsenal just go and pay it then?
Well, this is the thing. I don't know why Arsenal are doing this incremental approach, but it says to me that Man City coming in sort of later on, it feels like they're trying to, it's going to help Arsenal. Because the fans are going to get on it now and say, hold on a second, Declan Rice, if you let Declan Rice go to Man City when he was our number one target, that says a lot about Arsenal. Well, so I think there's a bit of that going on. I used to do it all the time and it used to work.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, she used to actually be an agent. She used to work at Manchester City, if I'm not mistaken, for the football team, the women's team, and she used to do like transfers and stuff, and that's what she said she used to do. So when I seen this, people are saying, "Igal, you're delusional to believe this," but don't you guys think there's some level of truth to this, or people think people are just stupid? I'm confused. Like, what do people think about this? Because like, I want to know. Because for me, I kind of get it. I kind of get it, but I thought it would be more from West Ham side of things. Could West Ham just tell Man City to bid, or could West Ham just be feeding us information that's not accurate in the news, just to put pressure on Arsenal? I don't know. What do you think?
I was unmuted. I was accidentally muted myself. No, I think that's it's unlikely that Arteta would do something like that. I think he's a very professional man. I'm not sure he would do something like that. I think that's just a lot of sort of talk and hot air. It would be nice to believe that, because obviously you want the deal to be done quicker, and of course we want the player to be done and be signed and be Arsenal, and obviously you'd do anything to get Declan. I would do. Well, I hope that'd be true, so that we would get him quicker. But I know how Arteta is, and he's a very respectable person. So I don't think he'd be doing these sort of weird mind games, texting Pep going, "Oh, do us a favour, put in a bid and speed it up." Because I'm not sure that's the way Arteta works.
But you know what? I think West Ham would do stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the amount of things they probably leaked to the media that probably was half true, not really true. But yeah, well, you saw the article literally a minute ago. They want was it 115, same sort of value as Jude, when before we all know for a fact before the sort of Conference League campaign and in the January window they were asking for 80 million. That was sort of their sort of benchmark. Now they're asking for an extra 35 million on top of that. Yeah. So I think it's a lot. Them sort of stories I sort of try and steer clear, because yeah, I don't think there's much truth to that.
Okay, fair enough. And I do believe Arsenal are going to get this done, but I just wanted to talk about that because I felt like it was a little interesting to speak about. Fabrizio Romano and everyone already spoke about it. It's some of these stories are as true as Liverpool potentially signing Mbappe. Like we see these stories all the time. How reliable do you guys think these stories are? Let's be honest, people. Some of these stories are just not that reliable. Like,
no,
it's just not reliable. People are saying Kai Havertz got announced. I don't think I see any announcements. I'm sorry. I see Kovačić got announced, but I don't see anything about Havertz.
Let me check the official Arsenal page.
No, nothing.
It would be all over my timeline if it did happen.
Yeah. Look, by the way, I'm following Arsenal and I'm following all the main accounts. So I'm just going to go here quickly. Just go there and I'll show you nothing. All Kovačić.
Nope. Yeah, nothing major.
That's it. Kovačić stuff. That's it. But yeah, let's. Is there anything else really major? I need you guys to do me a favor, though. Everyone who's listening right now, let me know if you guys have any questions or concerns in the comment section, as we do have 10 more minutes in the show. But also, make sure you like the video. Eid is tomorrow for everyone who's Muslim, who's going to be celebrating Eid. So Eid Mubarak to all my Muslim brothers and sisters, and anybody else who doesn't know what Eid is. Eid is the second. Eid is a Muslim holiday, and the second holiday is the end of the pilgrimage to Mecca, and that is tomorrow. So of course, this is the Eid for the pilgrimage of Mecca. So big up to everyone who's in Mecca, who's doing the pilgrimage, and of course, everyone around the world. Big up to you. People saying it was a dumb comment. You know what? Sometimes you got to take TalkSport as what it is. TalkSport is a place where they create controversial moments. What about this news? What about this guy?
Yeah, we can talk about him. Yeah. Funnily enough, Lorenzo's got some sort of some really interesting sort of contacts in on that deal. We also saw some news come out the other day that I think, despite there being sort of a sort of reported sort of release clause or sort of fee there that could be reached sort of 18 to 20 million euros, the agent wants and sort of the player camp want a big signing on bonus fee of an extra.
How good is he?
He is very good. He is really good. I've seen some compilations. He's
at the age that he's at.
Yeah. I'd be very impressed if we signed him. I'd be very pleased.
Who would you be more impressed about, him or Xavi Simon?
That's a really tough question.
We're gonna have to buy a youngster if we're getting rid of all these youngsters.
That's a really tough one, mate.
Should we maybe ask? Maybe you should tweet this out. Be like, question.
That's a really good question.
Who would you rather have?
I want both. I think they're both really good, mate. Xavi Simon was, as I said, unbelievable when he played against us, when PSV played against us. But, oh God, they both got such great potential.
How much would he cost?
What, Xavi or
him? This guy. I forget his name.
Guler. I think it'll be around 40 if we had to. Although there's
Xavi Simon for 20.
Well, exactly that. Obviously, yeah, because
I think it's a no-brainer. You go get Xavi, bro. He's done it in the. I don't think this guy ever reached the numbers of 19 goals in a season. Has he?
I'm not sure on the stats, but yeah.
He's more of an attacking midfielder than a winger.
I would say with this deal as well that obviously we all know that Darren Dean is the agent who has his father has ties to Arsenal. Was David Dean was the ex-Arsenal board member, and there was obviously
for him, for the Turkish guy.
No, Xavi Simon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so David Dean, who used to be on the board for Arsenal, his son Darren Dean is the agent of Xavi Simon. Obviously, there's really great links there with the Arsenal board. And he changed the agent at the start of this transfer. Well, not the start of the transfer window, just before the transfer window sort of opened. So that is probably he would have known that there is a really great connection between the agent and Arsenal. So I think he obviously wants to move to the Premier League and definitely Arsenal. So I think that deal, if I could put it on a scale of how probable that transfer is, and if someone came up to me in a month's time and said, "Yeah, we signed Xavi Simons," I'd go, "Yeah, I would be surprised." So I think that's a possible deal.
Xavi Simons being a cut price deal also makes it more feasible for us.
Definitely. And if he really sort of kicks on and plays really well, it's also a future talent that we could move on for a really great profit in return for that, if you get what I mean.
There you go. If I'm not mistaken, there were some people on Sky were talking about Xavi Simons potentially not wanting to go to PSG.
Yeah.
And he wanted to come to Arsenal, or Arsenal is one of the clubs that could potentially buy him. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens with Xavi Simons. But at this moment in time, there's nothing really there. But yeah, the Mbappe stuff. Let me ask you a simple question. Everyone in the comment section, do you think it's a possibility where if we have a good season this season and we're very good this season, going into next season where we don't need to buy too many players, could we go really in for a Victor Osimhen or somebody like that? What do you think? Because I think this is not like just an opinion as a friend, really and truly, not sources or anything. But don't you think Arsenal could really line themselves up well to go and sign a big boy attacker next season? And I'm not saying Kylian Mbappe, but
yeah, definitely, mate.
Potentially.
I think if we prove ourselves in the Champions League and the Premier League, then why not? I think the only hurdle will be, I think we could probably afford the player. Wages, yeah. If it affects the wage structure, I doubt that a deal for a big top player will happen, because Arteta is very adamant on keeping a really solid wage structure and not having sort of big egos and sort of money sort of overshadowing the sort of the dressing room. So I think that'd be the only hurdle. I definitely do. I think you're completely right. I definitely do think that next season, if we prove ourselves, we can really sign a top player.
I don't think this is accurate. I don't know if everyone knows the situation at Arsenal when David Dean left, but David Dean actually was one of the driving forces of getting in the Kroenkes and some of these other guys, and he resigned. So it's not a situation where we treated him badly or anything. The man resigned.
Yeah. No, there's been stories about that, but
to
obviously
this day, he still is connected to Arsenal and has a lot of people. He always goes to club events.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I meant by sort of links to the club, in terms of like he's got good contacts there, and I'm sure if the player went to him, I want to move to Arsenal. What can you do? He can pull on them strings. That's where I'm coming from.
Fair enough. And then, was there anything else that we didn't touch on? I'm just thinking about. Let me see. We spoke about Romeo Lavia. We spoke about Partey. No, we didn't speak about Partey. Do you think Partey will be sold?
I think there is a possibility. Yeah, I think that could happen.
Oh wait, you know what? Frankie De Jong. City choose Rice instead of Frankie De Jong. I think Frankie De Jong's overrated, bro. I don't know about you. You're laughing, but
No. Yeah. I see where you're coming from.
Barcelona. Little kids are starting ahead of him.
Yeah.
Like
Gavi. Yeah.
Gavi and Thing both starting ahead of him. So it's like, anyways, Arsenal stay determined to get Declan Rice, and I just want to show you guys. I've done some edits. 1 second, I had some things. So quick fire moments. So yeah, the saga continues, ladies and gentlemen. Don't lose your composure, as a lot of people were losing their composure yesterday. We already spoke about Romeo Lavia. Quickly, so Thomas Partey this summer, gun to your head. Stay or sell? Keep or sell?
If it funds a big transfer, like Caicedo, I sell. But I think he's really important for the, what's the word? Like keeping the aura of the midfield. Did you get what I mean? It's hard to sort of explain. I think when you change up a midfield too much, it can mess up the structure of the team and sort of how they sort of play and take time for the new midfield trio to sort of bond. So I think that is something to bear in mind. But I think if the Thomas Partey sale funds a really top transfer like Caicedo, I would personally sell him.
Okay, fair enough. Quickly, everyone in the comment section, let me know what you say also. Where will Kai Havertz play if you had to say what his out-and-out position would be at Arsenal?
Left-sided number 8 is the word on the street. Number 10, maybe, as a backup to Odegaard. I think that's where
left-sided number 8.
Xhaka's role, pretty much, is what people are saying. As well as a sort of a number 10 role. It'll be interesting to see how Arteta plays him, but I don't think he'll play him as a false 9.
What about as a winger?
A possibility, I think. Yeah, he's really good. His sort of expected assists and sort of his ability outside the box is really top. So it could be a possibility. Yeah, it's really hard to tell. We'll definitely see more in the preseason.
Okay, do me a favor, guys. Get me to 150 likes, please. We are only on 120. Only 30 more likes, and we can get there. Stream's about to end very soon, and then I'm gonna get to the final point. Balogun, 35 million, keep or sell. You only have those two choices. What do you do?
Keep.
Okay.
35 is not enough, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Big up people saying Kai Havertz play on the left. He's not playing on the left. I'm sorry. Martinelli's better than him. He's not playing on the right. Saka's better than him. He can rotate into those positions potentially, but even Trossard is a better option, in my opinion, on either way. I think he only plays in the midfield and in the 9 position. He's going to stay central as much as possible. That's just my opinion. With Partey, I would sell. Balogun, I would sell. I still believe we're going to get Declan Rice. Ask about Rice's third bid. Rice's third bid still has not been official.
No.
I think they're waiting to figure out if they're going to have another. You know what West Ham are going to do? West Ham are going to wait until they have a bid that's higher. They're going to reject Arsenal's bid and then accept it. Then they're going to explain that they've just received a new bid. That's what they do. They wait until another bid has been submitted before they expose that they've rejected it.
To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if we have submitted or about to submit a bid today. That's what I got told, that there should be some movement today, or at least in 24 hours, sort of coming in early tomorrow. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's been some sort of movement happening and it hasn't been, as you said, Igal, that's a really great point, that just the way the media works, and West Ham will probably work, they won't release that to the media yet. They'll wait for another offer and then go, hang on, Arsenal, we've got an offer here. Reject that. You need to match that. So it's just the way negotiation works, unfortunately. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. West Ham. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We're gonna wait for the next video when West Ham expose more information to us and leak more information, because that's all they're doing at this point. Everything you're hearing is coming from West Ham, be it from Fabrizio Romano, be it from you, be it from me, be it from anybody. It's coming from West Ham. I'm telling you right now, Arsenal are not gonna show their hands if they're playing poker. It just doesn't make sense. And the game of the transfer window is a stressful one. Don't stress yourselves out. Calma. Understand, if you see another bid that's 95 million, just understand it's not getting accepted. It's that at this point it's laughable. Imagine if West Ham come back with saying Arsenal bid 95 million.
I would be surprised, mate. Honestly, Edu, extra 5 mil should do the job. No way, mate.
Listen, we'll be here for 6 years bidding 5 million.
5 million at a time, yeah.
There you go. Anyways, we're out of here, people. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Make sure you do check out my guy Arsenal Informer's Twitter account, and of course, everything will be, I'll put it in the description, but of course, if you guys haven't already seen it, we were checking out his account earlier in the stream. What is it?
Informer. Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it on the screen for everyone to see.
Yeah, perfect.
What are you're on 14K already. You've overtaken me. There you go.
Have I?
I think you're close to overtaking me. But yeah, there's Arsenal Informer right there. Make sure you go follow him. And of course, Ollie, your other account, your main account is Ollie, right?
Yeah, Ollie at Informer. Yeah.
But let me just get it. It's right here. So yeah, Ollie Informer, that's your main account right there. Go check out his main account. And of course, you can also follow me on my Twitter account here. There you go. And of course, most of the time, people are just posting dancing videos of me. Yeah, we're out of here, people. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Iga, good. You kidding? God, Iga, you're kidding yourself. You see a lot of rivals watching.
Yeah.
See if you say something crazy. But we're out of here, people. You have a good one.